I gotta be honest, initially Transformer 1 literally looked like a film made for children. Now, I don't really use that as an insult necessarily because I'd be out of my mind if I told you some of the best 3 animated films I've seen weren't from studio, such as DreamWorks, right? At least in the West. But what I meant was that from the marketing perspective, it definitely came off as an extremely tame and kid-friendly debut. I mean, if you look at the art style, the voice acting, the exaggerated visuals, it made it seem like it was tailored for younger audiences. But oh man, I couldn't be more wrong. Within the first 25 minutes of the film, I was hooked. And I even paused occasionally just to take the time to come to the realization that, hey, I'm actually enjoying this. The characters were pretty well written, the pacing was great, there was like almost no downtime the whole film. The action sequences with this style of animations, it worked really well, surprisingly like far better than what some of the trailer has shown. I mean, this is coming from someone who turns off a movie or just skim through everything if the first 15 minutes didn't drew me in. So the fact that I was so engaged, it's really a testament to the level of care given to this depiction of the Autobots. However, with that being said, my main issue with Transformer 1 is the transformation of D16 aka Megatron. You certainly understand where it's coming from, and he has every right to harbor those intense hatred and anger towards Sentinel Prime for being a scumbag and a traitor, but it made no sense how he just suddenly turns 180 with Orion, who we know as Optimus Prime. The whole film builds on their friendship and brotherhood, but his conversion, it has little logic behind it because there was nothing leading up to him being that extreme, especially with Orion. His issue was with Sentinel. You would think that shooting off half of Orion's upper body would have snapped him back to reality, and it sort of did for a moment, but then out of nowhere, he just goes completely rogue, declaring war on everyone and everything, including his closest friend. This sudden shift felt forced, if I'm being honest, almost as if the writers realized they needed to hit a certain plot point or something and just rush through it without proper build-up. It almost made their bond seem invalid, and honestly made me scratch my head a few times. At best, I think they should have just hinted at the more lethal side of Megatron in this film and maybe let that fully play out in the sequel, if there is one in the making, because as far as I'm concerned, there's really nothing in this movie that would have made him depraved from his path with his friends. Overall, I had a blast watching Transformer 1, far better than I expected. I was thoroughly engaged, and I do highly recommend you watch this. Let me know what you guys think of the movie if you've seen it. Did you wish the Megatron arc was done better? Write your thoughts in the comments, I'll read them over. With that being said, catch you later.